Good afternoon and welcome to the Child Nutrition Annual Financial Report webinar. This presentation is being recorded and will be posted to our website sometime next week. Please email me or add to the question and answer box any questions you have. If you could also add the slide number your question pertains to. Today's agenda is as follows. We'll be going over reminders, reporting time frame, tools needed to complete the annual financial report, review of the annual financial report, and then answer any question and answers you have after. Important reminders when completing the annual financial report. The annual financial report is located in CNP Web in program year 2025. That is very important. Normally, I get reports, not normally, sometimes I get reports that were posted in 26. We do not want you to do that. So you must get the report from program year 2025. And to find the report, you'll navigate to the Forms tab, and the report will be listed. To the left of the annual financial report, you'll click the icon, the plus icon. Once the report is complete, enter the filer's name and number in box 26, and then check box 27 to certify. And then you'll save the report. The financial specialist will review, approve, or send back with any corrections. The report must be in pending approval by September 1st, 2025. Each program in CNP Web has a different start date. Please follow the timeframes listed for each reporting period. The reporting period is July of 2024 through June 2025. As you can see, SFSP is in program year 2024. CACFP will combine program years 2024 and 2025. That is if you are participating in the after-school at-risk after-school meal program with CACFP. All child nutrition funds should be reported separately in the district's accounting software. DOE provides MEFS numbers for each of our revenue streams to help with this process. You should work with your business office on how your expenses are recorded in the system. When completing the annual financial report, the responsibility is with the food service department. For best practice is that the business office should be included, but there must be a division of duties for program integrity. We encourage you to work together in this process. Some of the tools needed to complete the annual financial report are as follows. The claim filer must submit the report. They are the ones that have access to the report. Ask your business manager for a detailed revenue and expense and summary report for reporting time frame of the program or programs. CNP Web has a claim reimbursement report called ED 293A, and this is in the report section of CNP Web. This report will help you with your revenue reimbursement. Maintaining a financial worksheet throughout the school year will help complete the annual report in a timely manner. In addition, it will help establish and maintain financial accountability and integrity of the program throughout the school year. A monthly financial worksheet has been developed to assist you in completing the annual report. This worksheet can be found on our website, and we're going to talk more about this at the end. If you haven't been using the worksheet throughout the school year, I would encourage you to do so next year. When it comes time to complete the annual financial report, all the work will have already been done, as the last tab of this worksheet is a combination of all the months together. So all you have to do is add the numbers to the CMP Web annual financial report. I also have instructions on how to complete this report, the annual financial report, and those are listed on the help tab in CMP Web. This is what the annual financial report in CMP Web looks like, or at least part of it. The income section is what you're looking at right now. From this point on, we will be reviewing how to fill out the annual financial report in CNP Web. I'll be following the instruction guide of the annual financial report. I'm going to start saying AFR as it's getting, that's, yeah. The AFR instructions are provided for you in the Help tab of CNP Web. First, we will talk about each of the column income headers, A through J. Then in the income section, line items 1 through 8. Column A is the total column, and this is the total for the entire food service operation in the sum of columns B through J. And note that it does not auto calculate. You have to do the math in B through J and add that income total in column A. Column B, the school lunch, includes all income and expenses for the National School Lunch Program and includes the summer seamless option. Please report all revenue and expenditures from SSO lunches and breakfast served in this column. Many of you now are not using the SSO, so that doesn't pertain. Column C is after school snack program. Column D is a school breakfast program, and this is where all revenue and expenditures from the school breakfast program will be reported in this column. Column E is special milk program, and this is for the split session kindergarten children who are denied access to the child nutrition programs. And you must have previously applied to participate in this milk program. Column F is seamless supper, and we do not use this seamless supper category, so you will not be using that. Column G is fresh fruit and vegetable program. Column J is a summer food service program. I is a child and adult care food program. And J, this column includes all other non-program income and expenses that are not part of the federally reimbursable meal. This includes extra milk, second servings, a la carte, banquets, food service to any organization such as administration meetings, parent-teacher conference, etc. So any catering, vending to outside organizations. So this is really any non-claimable item served. This is reported in column J. And I will note that last year I told you this was going to be changing, and it did not happen. So the titles, if you are using the worksheet, some of the titles have been changed or gone, are not there anymore. But when you go into the annual financial report, this is what you see, and we're hoping next year these titles will be changed. So eligibility for these programs are previously determined through the sponsor's site application process. Next, we're looking at lines 1 through 8, going down on the income section. The first one, line 1, is sales to children. This is where you're going to report income received from student meals served during regular meal periods. You must keep a daily records of students' income by program and report this income under each federal program. Reimbursable meals are reported under the corresponding program they are claimed. All other income received from students should be reported under column J for non-program, which would be a la carte. Line 2, sales to adults. Report income received from adults for meals and food sold during meal service. Again, you're keeping daily records of adult meals income by program and report this income under each program. All other food sold would be reported under column J. And I will say that some have just put all adult meals in column J for a complete meal, and that's fine. Or you may put it in school meals or school breakfast, as long as it's a complete meal. Otherwise, everything should be going under J for an adult meal for adults. Line 3 is loan and interest. This is where you're going to report any income received from interest earned from your child nutrition program. Line 4 is a state revenue match. This is the report. You're going to report reimbursement income from the state of Maine, which is allocated right now only to column B, which is school lunch. Next year will be included in column D for breakfast. But for this year, the Maine lunch revenue will be reported in column B, and breakfast will be reported in line 6, column D. Line 5 is federal reimbursement. Report any federal reimbursement received this school year. It is essential that you allocate this income by program as indicated in CNP Web under the Payments tab. Do not include any additional federal or state income received due to any other funding source, the federal. This year we had the federal local foods program. You would not put that in there. You would put that in other. So primarily it's just your meals, any of your meals, the meal served for your school lunch, school breakfast, if you all the money you receive federally from the after school snack program, fresh fruit and vegetable program, your summer program, and if you did the CACFP. And then we have the other income. Report any other cash income received for food services such as special functions, sales of equipment, cash donations. All of this would be allocated to the columns B through J as appropriate. All catering should be reported in column J. Equipment funds received through the USDA equipment grant should also be reported here. Line 7 is rebates. You would use this line to show the receipt of any rebates from vendors. Only use this line for cash rebates. If deductions were made from a payment, the food expense line would include the rebate as a net reduction in food expenses. Allocate to columns B through J as appropriate. Line 8 is your income total. This, I believe, is the only line that actually I believe it auto-populates for you. So the sum of columns A, lines 1 through 7, actually does not auto-populate, but going B through J does populate for you. And again, if you have questions on all that I have just gone over, which is a lot, in the annual financial report instruction guide, everything is listed right there in the same detail and order that I just went over with you. Okay, next we're going to move on. Oop, no. Hold on one second. I'm jumping my gun. Sorry about that. Next, we're going to review the ED 293 report that I mentioned as a tool to use to help complete this report. Reviewing the ED 293A as a tool to complete your annual financial report, you can see that the title of each column, at the top of each column, I've added the MEFS codes above for reference. You're going to validate your claim reimbursement with your detailed revenue report that you receive from your business manager. You can see here that for federal lunch, you will combine regular and free reduced to get the sum total of $1,407.52. Federal breakfast is just one column called breakfast breakfast program. The amount here is $320.79. Both of these federal amounts will be listed on line 5. Federal reimbursement, line 5 under federal reimbursement. The state of Maine breakfast and lunch reimbursements both have 2 columns that combine for a total sum amount. As you can see, that the state fund shows state in the header. The state lunch amount is listed on line 4, state revenue match, and breakfast will be listed on line 6, other income. In addition to your meal reimbursement, the ED 293A shows snack, FFEP, milk, and produce received for the year. You'll add those amounts in the matching columns to the federal reimbursement line of the AFB. It's AFR. AFR. Produce will be listed in the other income line under lunch. One of the other tools you can use to verify your financial is the payment tab in C&P Web. You can see by this little arrow, if you click that arrow, it will show you the payment months of the claim paid. The date is not the date that the payment was sent out. This is the date claims had been stopped for payment in the month. Payments are made between the 12th and the 15th of each month. The titles listed of lunch, breakfast, snack, milk, FFAP are all federal payments for each program. The totals would be all entered on line 5. Match state of Maine payments for meals at no charge legislation. From the payment tab, you cannot see both breakfast and lunch broken out. The ED 293A is the best way to verify the amounts to complete your annual financial report. Produce is the local foods fund, and that would go under other income. Again, you're going to validate, if you're using this approach, you're going to validate your reimbursement numbers with a detailed revenue report that you received from your business manager. In this example, I'm using the monthly financial worksheet, which is the top picture, and I've mapped out the advice slip account description, which is the bottom picture, to the worksheet. Please note that this example is using the monthly yearly worksheet and may not match the annual financial report, as the changes in this report are not getting fixed in time. In the above example, line 9, state revenue match, school breakfast of $248.10 should be reported in line 11 as other income. Once the AFR is fixed, you would complete the AFR as above. If you do use a monthly worksheet, you can still use the flow, as this worksheet is the same format as the annual financial report by following the header descriptions. Again, you'll validate your reimbursement with your detailed revenue report that you receive from your business manager. The business manager should be separating your revenue income by the MEFS revenue code sheet. When you receive payment from the state of Maine, an advice slip is provided and a description is listed with each dollar figure. Match the description with MEFS revenue codes to ensure correct reporting. And again, in this, in this example, I've added the MEFS number and corresponding worksheet location as well. Next, we'll review the expense section of the annual financial report. Again, I'm going to follow the instructions of the annual financial report listed in the Help tab as we go through each of these line items. So we're going to look at line 9 through 15. Line 9 is our food expense. You're going to report all food costs paid for during the school year. This includes the cost of obtaining commodities, and if there's any income reported for food sales in column B through J, then there must be an expense for purchasing of food. So if you have, again, if you have income in the income section, you must have expenses in the expense section that correspond to the B through J. Milk expenses should be allocated to all programs of which it is a part. Do not put all milk expenses in columns E. That is designated for the special milk program. Expenses listed in columns B through J must equal the total in column A. The total cost of food used must be distributed to all offered programs. For then the next one is line 10, labor direct. What is it called? Sorry. Labor direct participation. Report labor expenses paid during the school year to staff. Report gross salary as well as other employer paid benefits such as health insurance, retirement funds, employer paid FICA, workers' comp, unemployment compensation, etc. Only report staff benefits if these benefits are charged directly to the National School Lunch Program. Labor costs must be allocated to each program offered. Line 11 right now reads equipment 300 or less, but that will be changed to 5,000 or less. And here you're going to report costs paid this year for purchases of food service equipment costing less than $5,000 per unit, and most repairs regardless of cost. This line also may be allocated throughout each, is this the one? Yeah, through each of the program that it is pertaining to as well. The line 12, the equipment more than 300 will be changing to more than 5,000. And you're going to report costs for the purchase of food service equipment with a unit cost of 5,000 or more paid out of the National School Lunch Program. Equipment purchased using the USDA and or Maine equipment grant should be reported here. Then we have the other, line 13. Report other allowable expenses paid during the program year, not already reported under any of the expense lines above. This includes non-food items such as napkins, cleaning chemicals, technology software fees, any costs not directly related to food, labor, or equipment. If questioned, please have documentation readily available to verify these costs during a review and approval of the AFR. Line 14, indirect cost. Nobody should have anything listed here as Maine does not have an agreement in place for any direct cost expenses. So line 15 is your expense total. Again, it's going to total the sum of all the lines. And again, you have to do the calculation of adding B through J and putting the total in line A. And then you'll add line A, 9 through 13, and put that total in 15A. On page 6 of the annual financial report instructions, describe a couple ways to calculate your expenses. This discussion could be a webinar on its own. To accommodate questions you may have, I'll be holding open office hours in June. Please watch the Thursday update for dates and times. You may also schedule a one-on-one meeting with me as well if you prefer. The next section is net income and loss. And this is all calculated for you. The system does that for you. The next is the account balance. So number 16 is your beginning balance as of July 1st, 2024. This would be the figure after all the transfer of expenses and revenues was complete for the end of the year closeout. Usually this is the figure that auditors are looking at. If you go back into FY24, your ending balance, if that is different than what the business manager is saying your beginning balance is as of July 1st due to audit changes or miscellaneous, you will need to go back and change your 2024 annual financial report. You will need to revise that. Number 17 is your income, and that is from A8 of your income total from above. Line 18 is your expenses, which is A15. Your expense total will be entered there. Again, this doesn't auto-populate for you. You have to manually bring the numbers down. So then line 19 is the ending balance of, you're going to take line 16 plus line 17 minus 18 will equal your total for 19. I don't know if that picture. Line 20, accounts payable. You're going to put any bills that have not been paid yet for the program year. So this would have been any bills that have not been paid out in July, but you actually used in reporting period 2025. And the same thing with your income. Any income that you have not received yet. An example would be your June claim is you don't submit it until July, or it's not paid to you until July. So you would put your June claim reimbursement in that receivable if it's not on your report from the business manager. Number 22 is the balance of accounts. So it's 20 minus 21. This box is the balance of funds being held on account. Please remember the system does not auto-calculate totals for you. You will have to put your totals in, or this will be sent back to you with errors and you'll have to fix that, which is a common occurrence. The last part is the certification. June would be on number 25, June is the last claiming month, and it should be selected. This form cannot be submitted until after June as after claims have been submitted. 26 is you need to identify who is filling out the report, and your phone number and extension in case there are questions. And then don't forget, number 27 is to certify that the report is complete. And then you save it. And once that is complete, when you go back to your Forms tab, you will see that the annual financial report is in pending approval. And then that tells the state that it's ready to be reviewed. Again, I've already talked about this before, but I just want to point to where the additional resources are on our website under the financial information. The financial reporting worksheet using the month and year end and the directions for the worksheet. In these directions, I've also given additional guidance with FFEP reporting, after school snack programs, and a la carte. I would encourage you to review this document as well. And that concludes my annual financial report webinar. And I just want to stress that I will be having open office hours. Please watch the Thursday update, or you may email me if you don't get the report, if you don't get the Thursday update. I know that there are many business managers on this call and you may not get that. So you can also email me as well. Paula, do we have any questions?
We do. However, our Thursday update is available on our website.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. So you can check out our website there as well.
Yes, Jody, we have some questions.
Okay.
Back on slide 5, were you able to get clarification come up the object code to use for interest revenue?
Yes. And I don't know it off the top of my head, but on our website, under financial, I don't know if it was showing on that or not. There is a MEFS reporting. Sorry. This is the top part of our website when you go to the financial. In between this and the financial resources. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, it's right here. The MEFS revenue codes. It's right under financial resources. If you click that, I believe the interest should be listed there. If it's not on that sheet, I will make sure that gets changed, but you can also email me. And I believe it was in the Thursday update as well, but I will check on that. Paula, is there another question?
Yes, Jody, you have a few. On slide 9, the $5,000 limit on equipment, is that effective this year's report or starting next year?
You can do it this year. And if you've been doing the worksheet, I believe the financial worksheet, if you've been doing it all year, it already says $5,000. But if you've been doing 300, that's fine. But yes, you can use the 5,000. And primarily because you can't buy much for $300 anymore. So.
Income received from a student function, for example, a math meet.
Yep.
Is that reported under student column or other column?
Other column. So your student column is only for reimbursable meals. Only. So all a la carte functions, all of that would go under J, the last column.
On the account balance section, where can I find the information for 1718?
For
1718.
Sorry.
Might be slide 5.
Was it this one?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. So what was the question again?
On the account balance section.
Which is this one. Yep.
Where can I find the information for 1718?
So 1718 is on, if you go back to expenses, so your expense total is right here on line 15. And then if you go back to income, It's going to be on line 8 right here. And remember, those totals are matching what the business manager has given you on their, everything should match on their balance sheet.
Just to confirm, repairs to equipment should appear in the under $300 equipment section?
Yes, um, sorry, let me go there. The equipment more than 300 or 5,000, that's for your big equipment, for your refrigerator or so that typically has depreciation, and that's why you see it in column A only, and you're not dividing it amongst B through J. However, you are putting your total expenses for that equipment. So anything over 5,000, and that you would do 5,000, not the 300. You should do 5,000.
So repair should be
Oh,
included.
repair, sorry.
Well, this is another
Oh,
question.
repair would be under the equipment of, yeah, 500. 5,000 or less, or other. You can put it in either one. Probably I'd put it in other.
So the person who asked about the MEPS code
Mhm.
is saying that it's not on the website.
So if you could email me, and I do have it, and I will make sure it's too late for this week's Thursday update,
Yes.
but I will get it in next Thursday's update. Sorry, I wish there was an easier way to go back to the beginning. My email address, if you missed it. Sorry, everybody close your eyes so you don't get it. So there's my email address. You can email me and I can answer. I can give that to you.
And as a reminder, it was recorded. This webinar was recorded, and I will have it on the website sometime next week.
And that is it for the questions. And again, please, if you have, after you've gone through this, if you have any additional questions, please email me. And if you want to schedule a meeting, by all means, I am available. And no more questions. Well, thank you all for attending this webinar today, and I hope to talk to you soon. Have a great day.